Shut up and sit down.
Hey, welcome to the Old Stogies UNCUT podcast, brought to you by the Old Stogie Company Mobile Cigar Lounge. I'm Randy.
And I'm Shane.
And we are coming to you from the Mobile Cigar Lounge. We're going to be talking a bit about whiskey,
Cigars,
a little bit of everything.
and a whole lot of nothing.
Yep, and you don't want to miss a minute of it. So find a comfortable place to sit, pour a drink, light a stick, because we're going to be coming at you. Stand by. Guys, this segment of the show was brought to you by 705 Designs. Now listen, if you're a business owner, you've got to cut through all the static of all the competitors and get your message to the right people at the right time. 705 can do that for you. There's some great people. They're going to do great work in your marketing aspect and your website aspect. You really need to go check them out. I promise you will not be disappointed. SEVENOFIVE designs.com. They produce our show. They're good folks. Check them out. 705designs.com. Hey, welcome back. We are the Old Stogies, and this is the Old Stogies Uncut podcast. I'm Randy.
And I'm Shane.
How are you, Shane?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good.
I hear somebody coming down the stairs.
Coming down the stairs here. We are actually in Shane's recording room that he has set up.
Down in the basement.
Yeah. And this adorable little puppy just...
Puppy. That dog's like 17 years old.
Everything's relative.
Yeah.
He's blind and deaf. And doesn't
Talking about the dog, by the way.
Yeah. No, whatever applies. Yeah. I don't even know his real name. My nickname for him is Snappy.
I think it's Harley.
Oh, Harley. There you go. Yeah. So, welcome. Thanks for joining us. You know, normally I say thanks for tuning in, and you've called me down on that.
Yeah, because it's not a radio thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. In fact, I think once you said, "Okay, Boomer."
Boomer.
Yeah. So, anyway, you doing okay?
Doing good.
Had a good week?
Yeah, not a bad week.
Good.
Wife had a little bit longer to-do list than needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, she wins.
Well,
I really don't get a choice.
Don't even go there.
Yeah.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
We just we just celebrated our 24th anniversary. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, because I was the first one to realize it.
Yeah.
I woke up 2 hours before she did, had to take a crap. Of course, I'm going to use my phone, and there it was, right there in Facebook.
Yeah.
It said happy anniversary. I'm like, oh, I'm texting this. I win for the year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Of course, the fact check said it's tomorrow.
No. You know what we ended up doing?
What's that?
We bought a toaster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
24 years as a toaster.
Did you get a free bank account with that toaster?
Nope.
Okay.
We figured, she goes, what are we going to do for our 25th? I'm like, we need a new coffee maker.
Well, there you go. Gotta have goals.
Yeah.
Gotta have goals. Yeah.
That's going to be the 25th coffee maker.
I got you. What are you drinking?
I am drinking Evan Williams, my standard. If you've listened to any of these episodes, Randy,
yes.
you know my favorite drink is Evan Williams.
Yes, I was privy to that many, many months ago. Even when we were building Stella, I do remember that. And I'm joining you. I have a glass of Evan here, too. Mine's running a little low, so we'll keep today's episode short. And what are you smoking today?
Actually, right now, since we're in the basement, I'm not. But we're going to take a break here soon.
We are. Before we came in, what were you smoking?
Factory Smoke by Drew Estates.
Oh, there you go.
My usual daily.
Yeah.
So we should tell people, what were we doing just earlier before we recorded this episode?
Before we recorded this episode, we were actually cutting a commercial to insert into someone else's podcast to help promote our online store. Which I didn't know we had. Do we have an online store?
Into somebody else's podcast.
Yeah. I mean, do we have an online store?
Yes.
What would that be?
We have an online store.
I think we do.
Why are you asking me?
I don't know. Word on the street is that it just got redone.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
It's a big, brand new website.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
with a cast of thousands.
Yeah. Adding things daily.
Yes.
Yeah. You should check out the merchandise. The merchandise will surprise you. Yes. I'm not going to tell you everything that's out there, but if you want a shower curtain with my face and Randy's face, staring at you while you take a shower.
Wow, wouldn't that be awesome?
It'd be awkward. I don't know about awesome. Both start with an A.
True.
But it's out there.
Yeah.
You can buy a shower curtain with our faces on it.
Yeah. What about socks? Are there socks on there?
Not yet, but they're coming.
All right. That's
They're
good.
shoes. They're high top tennis shoes.
Oh, nice. I like that.
So some of the other ones I wanted to tell you about. Just go look.
Yeah, just go look. There's lots of things. Just go look. Go look. Yeah. So I was smoking my my new favorite, the Black Ops.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was really nice. Really nice.
I know. I keep seeing the orders on our dealer.
Yeah.
Our dealer.
Our dealer.
Our dealer. Psst, psst.
Hey, buddy, want to buy a cigar?
Yeah.
That was
I got cigars. I got blood pressure medicine.
Yeah. COPD prescriptions.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, listen, today on the show, I thought we would talk a little bit about proper humidification.
Right. And we should.
Yeah.
Right after we come back from this break.
Well, let's do that then.
All right. Because you need a drink. I don't. But.
Yeah, I just need another little splash or two. So listen, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We are back. We're the Old Stogies. This is the Old Stogies Uncut podcast. Glad you guys are here. So let's just get right into it. Shane, what do you think? Let's talk about the proper humidification of cigars.
Wow, what a subject.
I know. It's not...
It's kind of like your ice recipe. You know, I mean, it ranks right up there.
Hey.
So, Randy, tell us, how do you make ice?
Well, Shane, I'm glad you asked. No, conventional thinking is you buy cigars.
Right.
You got to have a place to keep them.
You put them in the humidor and everything's good.
Put them in the humidor and everything's good. Now, some of the worst places I've heard of keeping cigars is in the freezer. Right?
Yeah.
That's incredibly bad idea and horrible advice. Don't let anyone tell you that.
It's very dry in a freezer.
It is.
You shouldn't put them in a freezer.
Shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that. But the conventional wisdom on storing cigars is you buy the humidor, and then you buy some type of conditioning fluid that you use to wipe down the inside of the humidor.
Right.
And then you either
now, what's the name of those? Tell everybody. Do you remember the name of those?
Conditioning fluid.
No, but I mean, it has an actual name.
No, I don't. I can look it up here if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I can plug it into the
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, I know.
Randy doesn't know what he's talking about.
So, just curious, what are they called?
I don't know.
Yes, but listen to us because we are
I
the
built
experts.
the humidor. You take care of it.
Oh, yeah, true. Good point. Good point. Apparently not very well. So, yeah, and then you use Bovita packs or you use the water bricks or there's a number of ways to maintain the humidity.
Okay.
Which is why they use Spanish cedar in the humidors, right?
So, now, explain to me, why do they use cedar? Is it just because it's more porous wood or it...
It's porous. They dry it so the sap comes out of it, and that opens up the wood to accept water and then release it or accept it depending on what it needs to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why do they only do that for cedar? Do you know?
Apparently cedar has a certain quality to it that doesn't infuse the taste of the wood into the cigars.
No, but I mean by taking everything out of it. If you took all the sap out of an oak, why wouldn't oak?
Oh, I don't know. All I can do is give you a dumb look there. I have no idea.
Well, great, because it's a podcast, so a dumb look plays well.
Yeah, if I hadn't said anything, nobody would know. Damn it! So, but the conventional wisdom is once you get it seasoned and you put your cigars in there, that you want to. The conventional wisdom is 70-70. Right, 70 degrees and 70% relative humidity. Okay, for most cigars.
I'm learning here. I have a cigar lounge and I'm still learning.
Well, me too.
Yeah.
I wish I could learn why they use Spanish cedar, but anyway, that may not actually be the know-all end-all of humidification. In fact, Mr. Shane.
You're a little bit too excited.
There is a school of thought that says that a lower humidity,
dun, 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 the more you know.
The more you know, around 65%, it could possibly be a better humidification than 70%. And here's the thing: if you're keeping a lot of Maduros or cigars that have a thicker wrapper on it or a larger ring size, that you may want to actually drop the humidity.
So the type of cigar affects where you should set the humidity. Is what you're saying?
Yes, it certainly can.
I mean, like darker, lighter. I mean,
darker, you may want to drop the humidity just a little bit lower, like a Maduro,
Really?
like a double Maduro.
because you don't want them basically wet.
Well, yeah, you certainly don't want it wet, because I mean, look, a wet cigar, if you're holding it 60%, 75, 80% humidity, the cigar is not going to burn right.
Right.
Because it's just too wet.
Now, one thing I've noticed, and we're in South Texas,
We are.
obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
most people don't know that, but we are in South Texas.
Yep.
So I have a cigar in my humidor for weeks, and it's at the proper temp, proper humidity. It's great. Beautiful cigar.
Yes.
I go step outside, it's 112
Yeah.
with 98% humidity.
Right.
My cigar suddenly changes.
It can.
I mean, halfway through, it's just like, okay, now it's not burning right, or
Right.
it's
Yeah.
dried out all of a sudden.
It certainly can. I mean, humidity takes time to move in and out of a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a Toro or Gordo, you're going to be out there for maybe a couple hours.
Right.
And you certainly could, when you get in the last half of it, you could notice a change.
Like a 3 p.m. cigar.
Yeah.
3 p.m. When it's when it's hottest part of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a great time to have a cigar.
Not really.
Yeah.
No, not really.
It'll change on you real quick.
It can. It certainly can. And I'm glad you said that, because in my experience and talking with other people about humidors, very few are airtight.
Right.
Right? So think about trying to hold a 70-70 in your humidor in winter. Now, in winter, I remember winter last year down here, it was on a Wednesday.
That's how long it lasted, too.
Yeah, pretty much. But let's say you're in the middle of the country.
Wednesday morning to Wednesday afternoon.
That's
That was it.
Till about 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
But you're from Iowa. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So think about your winters in Iowa. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the temperature in your house can fluctuate greatly. At night, it could go down to 60.
Drastically.
Yeah. The humidity in your house will fluctuate as well.
Right.
So some schools of thought say that humidor will actually breathe, and that can change the humidity in the humidor.
That's the equivalent of like your doors in your house opening different and closing different just because of humidity.
And temperature
right?
sometimes,
The wood expands.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
No jokes. No jokes.
No
people.
jokes. But yeah, and so there's a school of thought that says that you should try to compensate that a little bit by, dropping the humidity a little bit to maybe 65 or so instead of 70.
So let me ask you a quick question. I know you're not an expert. I get that.
Thanks.
You play one on TV. You stayed at a Holiday Inn Express.
I did. But no, you're exactly right. I'm absolutely no expert.
Our particular living conditions right now, we have just this badass air conditioner that takes care of everything. It has a sensor to let you know where the hot spots in the room are, and it'll guide air right over there.
Yeah.
So anyway, it tells you what the temperature is in the house and the humidity.
Yeah.
So if my house is set at 71 degrees and the humidity is set at 71%, ideally, could I just leave my humidor open? I mean, could I?
It's possible if you're confident that you could hold it there.
Oh, I can.
The whole time?
I can. It's not a big place. We downsized.
Yeah. And let me back up. I may have misspoke about cigars that have thicker wrappers, like Maduros. Okay? Some of those cigars can actually have a higher oil content in the wrapper, and so a storage humidity could actually help that cigar burn better, because you've got the oil in the wrapper, and if you get it too wet, it's not going to burn as well as it could.
Or if the oil gets too dry, then it burns too quick.
Yes, it can burn. Right. And then you have problems with the wrapper cracking and the cigar being too firm and just not wanting to do, what you want it to do.
I've had numerous cigars do that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously just from going indoors, outdoors, I'm one of those guys, you're like halfway through a cigar and next thing you know it cracks and start of the wrapper starts to come off. I mean, what do you do when the wrapper starts to come off?
Usually
Do you toss it?
I try to work with it. I try to wet it to see if that helps it. But if it doesn't, I just toss it because, usually the wrapper, pieces of it wind up in my mouth, and that's just...
You're better than me. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll make it through. I'll peel it off. I'll eat that thing.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go, man. I don't care. It's been a rough day at work. I'm having a cigar. I don't care.
So yeah, a lot of people will use the 69% Bovita packs. A lot of people will use the 75% Bovita packs. I think whatever's right for you. What cigars you're storing, what part of the country you live in, that's going to keep it where you need it. And listen, the humidity and temperature of the humidor, 70-70 rule, take that as a beginning point.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way you keep your humidor, the settings in your humidor, is probably just about as personal as the cigars that you have in there.
Well, that makes perfect sense. I mean, that's like the most, I can't even come up with the word.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a smart word. I can't come up with it. That might be the best thing you said all day.
Yeah.
When it comes to,
but
what works for your cigars? I mean, you have to.
Yes.
What do we talk about when it comes to pairing cigars with bourbons? What kind of cigars you like?
Yeah.
What is it? The one thing that we always say. Trial until you find.
Yes. It depends on your taste.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no absolutes with any of this. There really isn't. And the 70-70 rule, I think in my mind, based on what I've read, is really kind of a starting point. There's another school of thought that says that if your temperature is going to be higher, then you should lower the humidity.
So, quick question. Should you adjust for outside temperatures that day? I mean, the difference between spring, summer, and fall. Yeah. Most places there's a difference. Here in South Texas, there's no difference.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. Do you adjust your humidor for those type of situations? When it's spring and it's in Iowa and it's it's 50 degrees and it's very dry. Yeah. Summer, it's 104 in the shade and it's just huge humidity. Yeah. And then fall, we're back to the 50 and very dry. I think should a person adjust their humidor for that? Would an electric one with an electronic monitor be better?
Absolutely it would be. Absolutely it would be, because listen, if it's any of those changing conditions, the conditions in your house are going to change as well.
Right.
Which is indirectly going to affect the conditions in your humidor. So yes, to have an electric humidistat that controls the humidity, where if it gets too low, it pumps some more in. If it doesn't, it stops and lets it go. That's ideal.
Okay.
Now, everybody out there that has one of those, raise your hand. Yeah, I count 3 of you.
There's 2 of us here.
Okay. Well,
and we're on radio.
I have 2 hands.
We're on podcast. I'm sorry, I made fun of you for saying tuning in, and I just said radio. So I apologize.
That's okay. No, it's all right. It's all right. But I think it's a personal decision. Like I say, the alternative thinking to the 77 is, if your temperature is a little higher, your humidity should be a little lower. And
so that's
then reverse
best case scenario.
That's best case scenario. If your temperature is a little lower, maybe your humidity should be a little higher. But it depends on the cigars that you've got in there and how you like your smoke.
So, again, just asking questions. I feel like I'm interviewing you.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
I know. It feels like it. So, you never know when, we don't have them in South Texas, but like in Amarillo.
Yeah.
You just, one day it's 80.
Yeah.
The next day it's 22.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for something like that? Your humidor is going to freak out at that point, right?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think it'll freak out, but I think you'll see things change.
But the house will change because you're going from air conditioning to this high, heavy heat.
Right. Now, your humidor is not like a screen door. I didn't mean to imply that, but ambient conditions will affect the humidor.
Okay.
Especially temperature.
All right.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
yeah, just kind of be aware of it. I mean, I haven't given you any answers at all except to say keep an eye on it and do what's good for you.
Check Google.
Yeah. But I think everything being equal, I'll probably stay with the 70-70 rule.
Right. I mean, I try and keep mine as close to 70 as possible. If it hits 65 and I'm on my way out to work, I'm like, yeah, fuck, it'll be fine till tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll deal with it when I get home. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I got you. But anyway, it's an interesting topic. I mean, you can study on that kind of stuff for some time.
Yeah.
And see what works best for you and rotate different cigars in. And I think you'll see the humidor respond differently to different cigars.
Now, does size of humidor matter?
It
matters to some people.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. And I can't answer that. I'm not really sure. Of course, you have more volume, but you also have more surface area.
Well, I would think the bigger the humidor, the longer it takes for those changes that we were just talking about for ambient temperature and stuff like that to take effect, right?
I totally agree with that. It'll also take longer, of course, naturally, as you would expect, to get it conditioned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, if you were giving somebody advice on the humidor, how often do you think they should condition? And here's another question we hear a lot.
Yeah.
Is it better to keep your cigars in the humidor, in the plastic wrapper, or out of the plastic wrapper?
Ooh, see, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I think if your humidor is conditioned, and your cigars have come
something
in...
you keep on top of.
Something you keep on top of, and the cigars come in good condition, and I mean not dry and not mushy, then as long as you can stay on top, stay between the gutters, as we say in Texas, on the humidity and the temperature, and don't let it get to swinging on you, I don't see why the plastic wouldn't be okay. What do you think?
I tend to leave mine in the plastic.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. I'll just wait until I have one to pull the wrapper off of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of times I feel that where they came from, hopefully, is doing the right thing.
Yes.
So
yes.
They're in good condition when I get them.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that. When you get a cigar that's in bad condition from somewhere, let's just say you buy them from a local liquor store.
Yeah.
And you throw it in your humidor. How long do you think, on average, it would take to recondition? I guess it depends how bad the cigar is, but how long would it take to recondition a cigar from a liquor store? Let's just go with liquor store because they're not. They don't have the best humidors,
True.
And
True.
You go get yourself, you and your buddies, 3 or 4 cigars, and a little dry, a little hard when you put them in there.
Yeah.
I mean, how long are we talking about? I guess it depends on the humidor. Are we talking a week and a half, 2 weeks?
It's a good question, and I think it depends on the type of cigar. I think it depends on the wrapper and the ring size, how well you have the humidor conditioned when you put it in there, what you're holding your relative humidity at, and if you want to go in, and I think in the medical profession they call it, give it a bolus, where you punch it, a bolus, which is like a surge of medicine all at once.
Okay.
So if you
never heard that statement, that's cool.
If you want to go in and over humidify your humidor for a couple days in order to try to bring those cigars back around faster, I mean, about a trick with a Tupperware.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's kind of extreme. It's extreme, but
I don't know if it's a proven trick.
Well,
I've heard people talk about it.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that had left some cigars in his golf bag for like months. Forgot about them, and they weren't Tupperware. But I mean, they were dry, super dry. So he cut an apple into quarters. He threw an apple in there with that Tupperware, and he put them on his his countertop for like 2 or 3 days. And they came back. They were hydrated.
Yeah. But
something about the apple. Apple looked like shit.
Well, I bet it did.
Yeah,
I bet it did. But I mean,
those sucked all the life out of it.
Yeah. The Tupperware is airtight,
right,
and you've got a great moisture source, and so it's going to pull.
Good healthy one too.
Yeah, it's going to pull into the.
I didn't ask if it flavored.
Yeah, I don't know.
cigars
That's
in
an
it.
interesting question too.
Could-
Seemed
could've-
like it would.
You think it would?
Yeah, you'd think it would. But did you know, and maybe some of our listeners don't, but I know you do, that Bovita packs come in and they get dry and hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most people throw them in the garbage. You can recondition those.
Right. You can soak them.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Soak
They
'em
got
in.
like tiny little needle pricks in them.
Yeah. And you
I just like saying pricks on the
Thank-
radio. I said the radio again.
well, you said radio again. Okay, boomer. Anyway. But yeah, you throw them in a little container of like distilled water or purified water, and it will absorb as much water as it should to bring it back up to the percentage it says on the pack, and you reuse them. Yeah.
How often can you do that?
You know,
I mean, is
I've
it
talked to people that have done it
or-
over and over and over and over again and haven't
Really?
had any problem. And I guess the limiting factor would be when the outside of the pack tears open, you're done.
Yeah. Makes
But,
sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But those things are good. Here, some of the worst things you can do. If you wipe down the inside of your humidor with anything but distilled or purified water.
Rubbing alcohol. That's a good one.
No, that wasn't
No,
really what I
really?
was talking
No?
about. Like urine, for example. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But
You're intriguing me. What are you talking about?
but if you use just water out of the tap.
Right.
It's got minerals in it. It's got chlorine in it, and what it will actually do is plug up the pores of the
Fluoride.
cedar. Yeah, it'll plug up the pores of the cedar to where the cedar can't breathe a liquid in and out anymore.
But okay, all right. Along those lines, I've seen
Yeah.
you use a lot of times on
Yeah.
different places.
Yeah.
You'll use like water bottles, like
Yes.
the standing water bottles that they have in offices and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times those are filled up with like a faucet too. And
Yeah,
sold,
sometimes they
so-
are, and I'm kind of rolling the dice on the fact
Right.
that it's either
Or you'll
reverse
open
osmosis.
a bottle of water for the first time and you'll
Yeah.
use it. But
Yeah.
I mean, we both know that was filled in San Antonio at a tap.
with a tap. Yeah. Hopefully not. And again, I'm rolling the dice when I do that the water is actually purified.
But I mean,
somehow.
how bad is it to do that? I mean, is it like
Well, it's-
detrimental, or is it just like, all right, try not to do it a lot,
the more you do it, the more you plug up the pores.
right?
And so if you can,
So they don't ever unplug, for lack of a better term.
I think the only way to unplug is probably go in there and sand that cedar down. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know how you would unplug them. I really don't.
Wow, I didn't think
Because
it
you're
was that
talking-
like
You're
big a deal.
You're talking real small calcium and particles that will get in there and plug those pores.
Got to get rid of my humidor then.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to sand that bitch. I'm just going to buy another.
Bring it over. We'll have a bonfire. It's good. Spanish cedar burns great.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, so you want to use distilled or purified water when you rub. And the same thing with your humidification bricks. You don't want to use tap water in those either.
So how do you feel about those little humidifier? I guess they're not bricks, but like it's the back of the hygrometer. Is that the word I'm using?
The hygrometer, yeah.
The hygrometer. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's the back side of the hygrometer
Yeah.
where you pour the water in and it just magnetizes. I mean, those are pretty much pointless, right?
Yeah, I've never talked to anyone or used those personally myself.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody fills them and works
Yeah.
with them, but I mean, they're
Yeah.
pointless.
Now
at
they
this
make
point.
those little jars, I think, with like little beads in them or something that you can put water in, and it or those tubes with those clear crystals that you can put the
Right.
water in, and it releases the water out. And as far as I know, everybody seems to have good luck with them.
For the longest time, I mean, we're talking decade and a half ago. I had one of those little plastic, little rectangle. You know, had the little white beads in it and everything like that. And
Yeah.
it was that and a Tupperware in my golf bag, and that's exactly where I kept cigars.
Yeah.
and they did fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't like super snobbish about,
Well, I wouldn't be with that. But no, I understand. But yeah. So, what are the main takeaways here? Take your time. I'll wait.
Oh no, you were asking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The blank look should have given you everything right there you need to know right there. It's just,
What? Takeaways? What?
Takeaways. Can
So
I get Randy
70-70
cigars?
is a good starting point.
Right.
Yep. You have to condition the humidor before you actually add the cigars to it.
Actually, having a humidor is work.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
How often do you think somebody should condition one? I mean, just
it depends on the readings that you're getting.
and the size.
It depends on the size, the readings that you're getting.
So I have a 50.
Okay.
Just for the house.
Yeah.
Obviously,
so do I.
we have much bigger, in the lounge.
Oh, in the lounge we have much bigger. Yeah.
So I mean, a 50 cigar humidor.
Yeah.
Probably recondition it once every 2 weeks.
Depends on how well your relative humidity is holding.
All right.
If it's holding rock steady at 70,
So if it's dropping a lot, do I have a leak?
it's possible you could have a leak. Depends on the humidity in the house, because it's going to go from high humidity to low humidity, just like temperature. Temperature is going to go from high to low. Heat will move, and humidity will move. So it depends on what you got going in the house, and depends on where it's holding at. It's I think a couple Bovitas and maybe a brick or two in there can help you stay where you need to be until you come in with a pack of cigars that's taken 3 days longer to get here than you thought it was, and they're dry, and then you throw them in there, and then be prepared for that humidity to drop, because it will.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. That's No, that makes sense.
Yeah. And so that's
Randy.
that's when you may want to hit it with a bolus of water there and just
I am so glad you came by to explain to us.
Well, thanks. I was just walking by and said,
So this is Shane with Old Stogies Uncut, and we were just interviewing Randy. I'm just kidding.
No, this is interesting. I've been doing some reading on this and kind of meshing it with what I thought I knew and what people have told us coming in the lounge, and it's easy, but it's not simple.
Now, see what my problem is I'll grab 2 cigars in the morning and go to work.
Yep.
First one smokes beautifully, and I only get about probably 2/3 of the way through it.
Yeah.
Before I go into the office.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Well, after lunch, I'll grab that second one, and I'm like ready. But we're South Texas, it's 112.
Yeah.
That second one never burns as well. It runs, it peels, the cap comes off.
You don't have a travel humidor that you take in your office with you?
Oh, that's a thing?
That's a thing.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I know, and I can't take it in the office.
It looks like a little Pelican case, and nobody needs to know. Tell them it's your.
I drop it in the console. Is that wrong?
Tell them it's your insulin. Yeah, it's wrong. Yeah,
it's wrong.
It's wrong. You don't throw it in your console.
Well, I leave it on the dash. Is that better?
No, that's better. Yeah, that's a lot better. No, but you throw it in the little travel humidor.
Tell them it's insulin.
Tell them it's insulin.
Yeah. Console or lose your job because you just lied to them about a medical
Tell them it's your
condition.
heroin then. I don't know, tell them whatever. But take it into your office.
That's next week's episode. I have a question about our next episode.
Yeah.
You want me to tell it?
Well, no. Keep it to yourself. I'm just happy you have a question.
So Jill and I have been talking about that. Let's just say that you go to Jamaica for the week, right?
Okay.
And you partake in the national plant in Jamaica.
Gotcha.
And you have a great time.
Yeah.
You come back home, you go to your job, they decide to test you.
Yeah.
And they say you're fired because you used illegal drugs.
Yeah.
Technically, I didn't, because I was in Jamaica where it was legal.
Oh, yeah.
How does this work? So anyway, another day. We'll bring that.
That question is way above my pay grade. I have no idea.
We could talk about this for. I mean, no. What do you mean it's above your pay grade?
I got no idea on that.
Well, no, I know you.
But we'll talk about that.
Partake, but I'm just saying.
No. I'm just saying. I have no idea.
Yeah.
That'll be a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to know how that works. No, you used illegal drugs. No, because it was legal.
Not where I was.
Right.
Yeah. No, I got you.
I'm carrying them now here.
Right here. Yeah. No. So anyway, that's as Forrest Gump would say. That's all I have to say about that. The humidification.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So I've run out there. Now you got a letter in the mail you wanted to talk about.
Oh, not necessarily.
No?
I got a letter to renew my license to carry.
Oh, you should do that.
I'm a returning user.
Oh, wow.
Which the last time I heard that,
yeah,
I had 6 weeks off of work.
Kind of makes you an addict, doesn't it?
So anyway, I just wanted to point out I got it filled out, and we're just waiting to hear back. They're going to use my old picture, which is kind of funny because I have hair in it.
Oh, how long ago was it? Years and years.
Like 6 months ago.
Tough 6 months.
Yeah, it was a really tough 6 months.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, in case you haven't been up to date on current events, the past 6 months have been tough.
Yeah,
yeah,
they really have.
Yeah. So, anyway,
you know what? I think we're going to do a short show.
I think we'll do a short show today. Yeah. What do you think about that? Yeah.
Well, you know what we haven't done during the show?
What haven't we done?
Hey, Curtis.
Hey, Curtis. How are you, man? Wow, we're missing you, brother.
Yeah, we are, Curtis.
Yeah.
I hope to see you on the 29th.
Yes, on the 29th, Curtis, because there's a new winery open up down there where you live. So we're going to be down there and hope to see you there too.
Curtis is our favorite unpaid employee.
Absolutely. All of our employees are unpaid.
Our third favorite unpaid employee, because I'm the first favorite unpaid. You're the second favorite unpaid. Well, for me.
Okay. I was going to say,
you're the second.
How did we arrive at these rankings?
The rankings change on who's saying them. Either way, Curtis still lands third every time.
Yeah, I was going to say all of our employees are unpaid. What are you talking about?
So.
Yeah. No, well, that's good. Yeah.
So, guys, check out the store.
Yeah.
I mean, we have so many good things you have to go see.
There's lots of things. Shane is putting new cigars on the store literally by the hour.
Hourly, daily. I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't know if that's a thing either, but there went some new ones right there.
Right
well
there.
done, Shane.
Right there. New sample pack.
There.
Right there.
Yeah, that's what we like. All right.
Here's our radio voice.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a radio show anymore.
No, we don't. We'll use our podcast voice. All right, guys, thanks for dropping in. We appreciate you being here, and hope through all the nonsense, you got a pearl of wisdom.
Yeah, at least a pearl.
Yeah. So, listen, we'll. This is kind of a short episode, but that's all right. We had some viewers. We had some listeners message us and say, "Yeah, I love your podcast, but it's too long." And we said, "Well, how about if we go a little shorter?"
Who was that?
Well, it was me.
I was going to block them. Yeah.
But no, we're trying something different here.
Nobody likes to hear how much I have to say except for me.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, that's my wife. She doesn't give a crap what I got to say.
I'm the smartest person I know.
Right.
So,
speaking of, my wife and I celebrated, I think we talked about that.
Yeah, you talked about that.
Did
we?
We?
Yeah. Happy anniversary. Quit fishing. Yeah. Okay.
We need another toaster.
Yeah, another toaster. Yeah. Well, here's a toast to another toaster.
All right.
Yeah. So, we're going to try this shorter episode format for a while and see how you guys like it. Please give us some feedback. Let us know. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Does it matter to you? And also let us know what you want to hear us talk about. The humidor question today, the humidity question was kind of spurred by a listener comment. I got to thinking about it, and that's where today's show came from. So, anyway, appreciate you guys being here. Go to the website. What's that web address again?
AMAZON. No, wait.
Well, no,
it's oldstogiecompany.com. You say it better. Do it.
oldstogiecompany.com.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's where we want to be with the podcast
That's
voice.
the ticket.
Yeah. So listen, guys, we're going to say bye. But as always,
smoke them if you got them.
And we got them. See you next time.
Shut up and sit down.
Old Stogies Uncut, brought to you by Old Stogie Company and produced by 705 Designs.